And here we are again. Today we're flying out the MiG-27, and I was expecting to absolutely hate this thing like I did the MiG-23 on release, because well, the MiG-23 on release was anything but a good plane. It has been receiving quite a few buffs since then, and it has been improved quite a bit. Still not the best plane, and this thing certainly isn't any better. The thing is, this thing has a gun that will disintegrate anything it hits. And the clip you're seeing on the screen right now basically summarizes this entire plane. You go head on with an R60, you go head on with the GSA-30, and you zoom away, and that's basically all you do. At low speeds it is still pretty solid. It has the same characteristics of a MiG-23 for the most part. Unfortunately enough, going slow is mostly not very good at top tier, because you're just going to get missiles. You don't have the most amount of flares. They do work quite well, but it's only 12 of them, so you need to use them kind of sparingly. And I don't run ECM because of that. Right now the radar cross section of these planes, the MiG-23 and the MiG-27, are basically non-existent, and Sparrows don't really work because of that. So as of right now, you're not really needed to run the ECM pod. I just run the flare pod. I run the normal one because, well, I don't want to pop 2 at once. I just want to pop 1, 2, maybe 3 at most, and I want to manage them myself. Head on someone with an R60, and that's what you get. If someone has flares and someone sees you fire, what's going to end up happening is they are going to flare, and the R60 is not going to track, especially if they don't have an afterburner. The heat signature is going to be very, very low, and the best way to use these missiles are versus planes without countermeasures, with an afterburner. Hope they don't come off it, and 9 out of 10 times it will hit them if they don't dodge properly, especially if you shoot them at closer ranges to like 2 kilometers. Problem is, most planes will have the radar missiles. They will have a Doppler radar, and once they fix the cross section for this thing, what's going to end up happening is you're not going to get that close range shot in, because you're going to eat a sky flash. Keep in mind, the still R60s from the rear aspect, a little bit more sensitive to flares actually. Side aspect, rear aspect are still your best bets. Frontal aspects are basically only for when there's so many guys around that you're forced to go head on, like you'll see in this video. In general, side aspect, top aspect, bottom aspect, those kind of shots are much more secure, because mostly people won't be able to see them. For you today I got 2 games. I got a normal game and I got a 1v6. The 1v6 is in this game technically maybe 1v7, but you'll see why I'm calling it a 1v6. I'll touch on that later on. But for the gameplay right now, I'm gonna be doing some things. F4E, and I'm shooting my Vulcan first on my GSA-30, because it might make them dodge, and then once they dodge I will shoot the R60, because they're so busy dodging they might not flare. He did, however, he didn't connect, he dodged it properly, and I'm just going to be ignoring him. I'm going to be flying straight into this furball, warm the R60s up beforehand, keep taps on that FOC above us, because I don't want to get jumped. Shoot this one in the head on, because he's very slow. If he doesn't have missiles, or if he doesn't have flares, he is not going to be dodging that. He didn't dodge it, but he got a crit. Or he got crit. And funnily enough, I've been getting more crits with the missiles than I have been getting crits with the gun. I've gotten 2 crits with this gun, and both of those crits will be in this video, and you'll see that, well, calling that a crit is a little bit of an understatement, because they were absolutely boned. This gun disintegrates, vaporizes, or however you want to call it, everything it touches, and that's why I have been enjoying this thing. The gun is great, a little bit unwieldy because the plane kind of flops about, hits extremely hard, very low trigger time, 300 rounds with an obscenely high rate of fire, but if you hit one shell, they are mostly gone. So you don't really need to shoot very long bursts, and the rounds go 860 meters a second, opposed to the water pistol that the GSA-23 is, which goes 690 meters a second, or about 700 right now, because it just got changed actually. But you can tell I'm not in the best of scenarios right here. Razor has an FOC on his 6, he already got crit by a missile. I managed to take his wing off with a very clean burst, because this gun just, as I said, it will do what it's supposed to do. And we have to fly away now. Razor is crit, he is not gonna be help anymore, he's going to die to the furball that's chasing me, and I'm just gonna be flying straight, hoping that my teammate will take off, and at this point I'm going to need something. I can turn right, I can go straight because I'm going to map border, so I'm kind of forced to fly towards my airfield, and I've been near this place twice this game. Luckily airfield didn't really kill anyone. And I'm gonna be speeding up a lot, because this game lasted a full 25 minutes. At the end it was like 23 seconds, 25 seconds left. Not the most amount. And I'm just doing a lap around the map right now, because I don't want to stay at the airfield. I'm not gonna camp it, so I just went on. I see that the FOC starts ground pounding, so I'm gonna be turning back to the middle of the map, and I'm gonna be seeing if I can dwindle these numbers down a bit, because right now it's still 1v6, and if I don't kill these people fast, I'm going to be eating shit. Everyone is going to RTB right now, so I have a little bit of downtime where they're kind of separated, where they're not all in a big blob. Second FOC comes in, notices what I'm doing, and we're gonna go head on with him. You see that the brother is a little bit unwieldy. Luckily, we shoot a fat burst at him, he eats it, and he goes into the ground. 1v6, go head on with the second guy, don't manage to connect. We are gonna be extending away now, and the problem is, because he's on my right and the F5 is on my left, I can't turn around again, and I'm kind of forced to go back towards my airfield again. I'm kind of speeding that up again, because it's a lot of empty flying, and well, the video is long enough as this. And there comes the F4E and a Viggen. The Viggen is probably going to be very low on fuel, so I'm not really worried about him. He breaks off, F4C is going to break off, F5 nowhere to be seen, F3 on my 6, and there's an F4F in the area as well. So we're kind of flying straight right now, and I'm forced to go right or left here because I'm going to MAC border, and at this point I'm really just I'm done. I'm down to 3 minutes of fuel. I don't have missiles. I only have 1/3 of my ammo, which is good for maybe 2 kills, maybe 3 if I'm really trigger disciplined and I hit all my shots, but I'm not really feeling it. This F3 starts talking to me. He's a fan, and if you're watching this, thanks for the formation flying. But I really wish I had killed you sooner, because well, would have been 8 kills instead of 7, you know. But whatever it is, doesn't matter. What a good game nonetheless. Not really happy about the airfield, but you know, it's kind of played out that way, and I'm not gonna be turning away from the airfield killing myself, because a lot of times I was flying towards the airfield. I'm flying into that direction, and then I can say I don't want to go towards the airfield, which is completely valid, and I don't really want to do it. But I'm not gonna break off to not camp it or to not fly over it just so you can kill me instantly, because I take a very bad line if I do so. So I kind of ended up here twice. It was a little bit tactical, it's a little bit of both. But we're dogfighting an F4E, he is not gonna be winning this. Not in this scenario, he's gonna be overshooting. I have my wings completely folded out, and we are going to map border just as we get behind him. I don't want to shoot him though, and I'm not sure if he's actually talking the truth or not, because I've seen people before that say I'm not going to be shooting you, I'm going to leave you alone, and then they come in as I don't expect it. So I was trying to be somewhat aware, kind of really trying to stay out of his guns, and now we're on this guy's 6, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to land and leave. I'm not going to waste these guys' time. I'm on this guy's 6, I don't want to kill him right here because it seems like a little bit of a BM move, so I'm going to be letting him glide because I'm going to be landing and leaving anyway, and I only have 2 kills, there's not much to gain here, so I'll land, I'll leave, and that's mainly because I'm in a plane that I feel like I can't actually carry in. So I'm on the runway, I'm talking to the guys, I'm saying like, do I want to stay in, do you guys want to fight or not, and I never really land and leave, so I thought, why should I start now? Carlos, I feel bad for you. I really wish I had killed you now, because you got killed by AA as he was, well, gliding back to his airfield. Not that I was going to make it anyway. And that's why I call it a 1v6 and not a 1v7, because I didn't actually get to kill him. Go head on with a Viggen, and as you can tell, this is the guy that I crit earlier, so I didn't really trust my R60s, so I shoved the terminal up his cockpit. F5 coming in, and I'm going to be doing something here. I want to shoot. So he's gonna dodge and then shoot a missile at the same time, hoping that he's so busy dodging my missile or dodging the guns that he doesn't flare. Always so busy flaring that he flies into my gun, but he actually moves and he dodges and he flares. So unlucky, wasted a missile and some rounds. Not a big deal though, because it's only an F5, and I'm not too worried about that one because it's an F5C. The problem is that there are still 4 guys in the area, or still 4 guys in the air. So we go head on with an F4F. It's an F4F early, so I'm gonna be using all my missiles on that guy from now on. There's an F4C. F4C is also a guy that won't be able to dodge. I really want to missile him. He shoots a radar missile at me and he actually gets it off the rails, meaning that I am not gonna be taking that head on and I won't be able to pull in time. So we are gonna be diving out. We put the wings in Naruto mode and we go zooming again, because the plane is still pretty damn fast. It's not the fastest plane on the deck, it goes about 1380 with the wings all the way swept back on the hot map, and it will depend on how what the temperature is, because of course on the colder map your IS will be slightly lower but your speed will be higher. The thing is, this plane is IS limited, so you don't want to get those cold maps. Viggen appears from the side and we are now going straight. And again, I am not feeling this game. I'm just thinking I'm gonna be losing it. I can of course fly directly to my airfield and then think, well, just camp it to let the SAMs do the work, but I don't have any enjoyment out of that. It's simply not fun to win that way. So they're all out of range, they're all shooting missiles at me. I'm trying to count in my head how many they're shooting, but it's of course hard to keep track of and you don't know what load they are running. So until I see all 6 or all 8 or all 4 or all 2 come off the rails, depending on the plane, I'm just gonna pretend that they still have a missile left. And at this point they're starting to catch me, so I'm just gonna be turning in and I'm thinking, do I start the dogfight here? And the F5C over there on the left really spaced himself almost perfectly, because he's gonna be making it very annoying for me to cut back in, because he's on the other side. I have to turn in their entire team, then I have to turn the other way. Vigan pass in front of me, don't manage to get the shot off, and we turn back into this blob. And I notice that they're all going up, they're all going pretty slow, because the retention of those planes is not very good. And the MiG-27's retention, as you can tell, I'm still going Mach 0.9, which is very, very good. This plane doesn't really lose all of its speed anymore like the MiG-23 did, but the wings always swap back, which was one of the main problems that I had with it, because you're very fast, you have to wing swap back, you go Mach 1, you do a turn, you lost 400 kilometers an hour. Luckily, that doesn't really happen anymore. So they all break off because I'm near the runway, and we go head on with the F5 again. And I'm noticing that he's flaring all the time, so this time I'm not going to be using it. I'm just going to be shooting a line, go up and down, hold the trigger down for a bit, he flies into it. Because every dodge he has been doing this game is simply pulling up, shoot the F4F head on with an R60, and it doesn't track because he turns his afterburners off, he does a canopy roll, and he dodges the missile. Still have 1 missile left, and he's going pretty slow right now, and I want to just put the pressure on him. So what do? We just full commit turn after him. I do want to make sure that the Vigan and the F4C are not in the area, because I don't want to get jumped, but the F4C is really a non-issue. The Vigan is a little bit more dangerous, but it depends entirely on where he is coming from. So now we're going head on with the F4F. He is very, very slow, and at this point I'm thinking, you're not dodging this R60. I'm not even gonna use any guns. I'm just gonna be full on dodging. He's too slow to dodge it, and that's gonna be kill number 5 or 6, quote unquote, because you know you're gonna be flexing that. And now it's 1v2, very little time left, 4 minutes left on the clock. And the main strength of this plane, in my opinion, is the fact that you will never have to land for fuel. Because if you bring 30 minutes, it will last you a long ass time. As you can see, I still have 7 minutes left. I landed throughout the midway point. F4C is trying to dogfight me. I'm sorry sir, but the F4C is one of those planes you are simply not going to be winning this in. He will be faster than me. Try to predict his roll. He rolls out of the way. We do it again, predict him again. Just nick his wingtip. And that's the second crit I've got him. You'll see the second one after this one. He's in the flat spin. Finish him off. And the Vigan is mid-map trying to kill ground units. And at this point we have 2 minutes left on the clock. I have 5 minutes of fuel left. So I can just afterburn this entire time, pop a blind hunt or an Avenger, and we start cutting him off towards the runway. Tell him to 1v1 me, because obviously I want to win this after all of this. And he comes head on with me. So I'm going Mach 1.1. He is not going to be doing that. He just did a 180. I'm going to be much faster. I'm on min fuel, 2 minutes of fuel left, and this thing is going to absolutely haul ass. And that's just low fuel, more energy, swing these wings out, dodge this one angle he is going to get. And now the top of his loop is me going 800 on the bottom of my own. So I can just go up once more, drop these flaps. And I do want to be careful. I should have just swung the wings back a little bit instead of throttled down. But it doesn't really matter. I don't want to dive on him instantly. I delay the attack a little bit, throttle down to not rip the wings off, because the wings do rip quite quickly when they're all the way forward. They rip like 850 or something. And that's going to be game. Thanks for the fight. Was a good game. Sorry for using the airfield a little bit more than I would have liked, but I also had no other options. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. I don't like it, but I'm also not going to kill myself to not use it. Hope you guys don't mind this one. A little bit hypocritical from me, since I always complain about it, but you know, it is what it is. Out of fuel, game ended, 7 kills, 16 hits, that's the RP, that's the Silver Lions, and we go on to the next game. A little bit less of a fluke, and a little bit more of how you fly this thing in the team setting. See the F4E, EJ on his 6, so I'm gonna be ignoring him from now, and I see that there's an F4E coming towards me. He's not looking me, he's not really paying attention to me, he's gonna be dodging me, and we are just gonna pull lead. and blast him with a 30 mil. And he goes into the ground. We turn back towards the furball as I want to assist my team, but then there is a Draken above me, so I need to turn into him so he doesn't missile me out of the sky. Narrowly dodge that, and we are on our merry way. Going straight, going Mach 1, another guy right ahead of us. Didn't notice you in the game, AC, but hello nonetheless. Would have said hi, but I wasn't paying attention to chat, and I didn't notice your name because it's slightly different on Discord. Very nice bug over there with the HUD freaking out. But we're just flying straight, trying to reset the fight, trying to get some separation, because in this plane you don't want to go defensive. If it's one plane defensively, it's pretty decent, you can make it work. When there's multiple, you are going to eat shit. And I've been saying that a lot because this plane is very circumstantial. And of course I'm showing you the best games that I've gotten, but at the same time I've gotten 40 kills, I died twice, and I only did like 15 games. I got about 3 kills per game on average, I won almost all of them. So how am I supposed to show you a game where I did very poorly? I notice that this plane isn't the best. I notice that I'm winning a lot because of my teams. Sure, I did carry these two together with Razor, but in general the plane itself is still kind of the same struggle bus that the MiG-23 is. And sure, it got separate buffs. It got a buff to the top speed, it got a buff to the drag, it got new missiles, it got the R60M now. And all in all, the matchmaker has settled a little bit, so you don't have a full team of stock MiG-23s. And you have people that flying the MiG-21 business again. You have multiple planes in your team, so the teams are a little bit better. So all in all, the MiG-23 right now is in a much better spot. It's not as horrible as it was on launch, both in the team wise and the flight performance wise. The R60Ms help. They don't make this thing broken, they don't make this thing suddenly some kind of god mode aircraft. But it certainly helps. It's at least decent now and you can do something instead of just getting fucked up the ass every game. So we get on the ass of this Vigan, and I know there's a teammate right next to me, so I'm just gonna sit on this guy. Because well, right now we are alone. We're already on him, I don't have to waste much time killing this dude. And he's maneuvering, he's rolling around. He's getting on A9J slung at him. He dodges. He gets back on him. And I'm just sitting here as support, because the F-104S is not going to be killing this guy. But he ripped his wing off. So he is going to kill him. A little bit of a waste of my time. Wasn't needed, but I think I did secure him in a position where the F-104 couldn't get reversed, because I was right next to him. So we break back off, we go back to Mach 1, and we are going to be returning back to the battlefield in just a few seconds. And we're back now. It's 3v2 in this area of the map. But it doesn't seem too bad. The FRE is RTB probably, that's why I opened the map there. See if the airfield is on that side. The FRE is going straight towards it, which is good for us. J35 is doing the same thing, he broke off, so now it's only a 2v2 opposed to the 4v2, and I'm feeling a lot more confident about winning this one. MiG-21 is in a very bad spot though, MiG-21MF as well as a J37 on him. So we dodge his head on, and we extend to the J21 so we can push him off. And just like that, we cleared the sick of the MiG-21 without even having to fire a shot. We just had to be here. And this is a very powerful thing about top tier. They don't know if you have missiles left, they don't know what missiles you're running, and they are kind of forced to just break off the second they get someone on them. Problem is, not many people actually do it, and they will just die in the hope that they won't get killed before they get the kill themselves. So again, they both go for the MiG-21, because I'm taking very wide lines. I don't want to take it too risky here, but I also can't take it too slow, because then what's going to happen is, well, my teammate dies and it's going to be 2v1. We go head on with the J37, we spray a little bit, we shoot a little bit of an L-shaped, ironically enough, at him. He gets crit, and that's the other crit that I've gotten. Look at his plane though, he is completely boned and he's going to be flying into the ground any second now. MiG-21 is flying around, he has someone on his 6, he is in a dogfight and he's bringing the other guy slow, which is perfect for us, because now we can come in and third party him. Lock him up with the R60. But it's turning in now and my teammate is going to fly through the heat seeker. So I'm not going to be firing it. Notice that this guy is very, very slow. I'm just going to hold the trigger down. I'm going to be going RTB. And I want you to look at that damage. Rewind it if you want, because I only swiped his rudder, took both his wings off and set him on fire. We're taking back off. Notice an RWR spike. So I want to turn 90 degrees towards it. Need to turn just that little bit extra. And just as I turn a little bit extra, that sky flies right next to my plane. And that would have been game. Luckily it isn't. There he is, and he's in a very good position here. He's above me, he's a lot faster. So I'm gonna be flying straight after him actually. And I'm not going to be trying to catch him. I'm not trying to go up and focus him down, because I'm not going to be catching him. I'm just trying to get my speed back up here. I'm going to be turning away from him now to get a little bit of separation. We turn back towards the middle of the fight, and MiG-21 of our team gets slammed. Unlucky. Razor just took down an F4E, and now it's going to be 3v2. So we fly towards the middle of the map. The MiG-21 chases Razor, and we are kind of forced again into this position at the corner of the map. We go head on with the MiG-21, shoot a few rounds, we manage to miss it, and we are just gonna go on our merry way towards the middle of the map, because right now we are allowed to leave the area of the runway, because we don't want to sit there too long. MiG-21 gets killed by Roland, unfortunately. I still think these SAMs should be removed, but you know, I'm gonna get flagged for that. Ironically enough, no pun intended. And we pass right underneath these two guys. And I do this to disrupt them, because Razor is right behind them, and if they go for me, what I can do is keep them busy for a little bit, slow them down a little bit, and then Razor can come in and, well, gun them down, shoot AIM-9Js at them, because he's in the F-104S, of which I just made a video as well if you're interested in that, because it got a pretty substantial buff last patch. So, we're going straight again, we're in Naruto mode, and we're going very, very fast. Razor goes towards the middle, and he gets stuck below the JA-37, and in front of a J-35. So what does he do? He pitches back up, forces the head on, locks the sky flash with his AIM-9J, and the AIM-9J hits the J-37 in the head on. 3000 IQ play, and that won us the game. Fantastic. So we go head on with the J-35D, and he doesn't have flares, so I'm gonna be using all my missiles to just shoot this guy in the head on. Of course, that's what you do. Shoot around, hope he dodges, and then shoot the missile. Missile manages to miss. Unfortunate. So we go straight, we try to go fast, and the problem here is that because we're IAS limited, this J-35D is not really gonna go much slower or faster than us, and we're kind of just stuck in this forever lasting goose chase. So what I'm just gonna do here is a little bit scummy, and I'm just gonna be trying to run him out of fuel, or make him so that he doesn't use his afterburner, so that I can run him down. And he is probably low on fuel. He has been in the air for quite a bit. So we just go straight back down, we dive away, and we are gonna pick up some speed just in the hope that he's going to break off, because I just can't fight this guy on even terms. This is J-35, and I'm all in for trying to dogfight someone. I'm all in trying to dogfight 99% of the planes at top tier. That one is the one I'm not gonna touch. If it's the J-35A, I will. No problem there, because it doesn't have the AIM RB-24Js. So we shoot a missile in the head-on. He is not going to be dodging it. We dodge the head-on. He gets crit. And he is not going to do very well. And I'm going to be staying all the way away from him, because I notice that he's very, very slow. And he's going to be crashing very soon here. And I don't want to give him the benefit of getting in missile range. And that's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was helpful. I've been enjoying this thing. You do need some aim to use the GSA-30, but once you do connect those rounds, it's an absolute blast. But I just, my experience on it, it might change once the radar cross-section gets changed. It might change once the teams get changed, but we'll have to see in the future. As of right now, I am enjoying this thing, and I might actually fly it some more. And there you have it, the MiG-27. Hope you enjoyed it. See you all in the next one.